Good afternoon, this is TerryTopCat for TerryTopCat Purrsents for Clusterview.com. I'm with the wonderful Robert Pereno. We've been friends for quite a few years. It was at the Rusty's event with Sean McCluskey in Soho, which was fabulous, by the way. And I actually got to see this incredible, big shout out to Mircea Evans and to Rusty Egan. We talked about doing an interview, and here we are. You've led such an interesting life, Robert. So you were born in Turin, Italy.
Yes, it's funny, English people say Pereno and Italians say Pereno. Yeah, I was born Robert Pereno.
Pereno, okay.
In Italia, in Turin. My mother was a nightclub singer.
Yes,
She sang with Rica Pereno. She sang with an orchestra, Nini Rosso, quite well known in Italy, a trumpet player. And she went to India with the band. And in India, in Calcutta, she met my father, John. And she met my father in Calcutta. And my childhood was, if there's three words to describe my parents' life in India, it would be colonial living, right? Boredom, bonking and booze. It was because it was de rigueur for him to sleep with the secretary. I don't know what work they did. My father was some businessman, engineering, whatever. My mother sang in a nightclub. There were servants. Not even, you didn't have to be rich. You know, the expats out there had this sort of boredom, bonking and booze kind of life. And I was always taken to the nightclubs. Furpo's, this famous nightclub in Calcutta. And I remember being under the table, my mother above. And it was a very exciting marriage. Often my mother would come in the room. Roberto, get out of bed, get out of bed. Look at your father, look at your father. Pray to your father. So I'd have to kneel down and pray to my father who was drunk asleep on the floor. So why I say all this, it brought a certain amount of theatrics to my life. I was drawn to excitement. And ask me what first record I heard that really resonated. Ask me.
So what was where's this, in Calcutta or when you moved to London?
Calcutta.
In Calcutta. So what was the first record you heard?
Downtown by Petula Clark.
What a great song.
Because also I wanted to know where downtown was. And I know that Mark-Anthony's filming, and later on we should talk about my relationship with him and all the people. I just wanted to go where the excitement was. Downtown. When you're alone, downtown. I went downtown in my life many times, perhaps a bit too far downtown. So Calcutta formed me. And what I love about India was the smells, the colours. And then we moved to England.
Must have been such a culture shock.
I've moved from colour to grey. You know? I mean, certainly London in the 70s. And we lived in Knightsbridge. It was a nice little house. I thought I'd have a Shetland pony. The England I imagine was not the England I got.
Okay.
You know, you couldn't get a good cappuccino then. And it was like, and the food was pretty I mean, immigration's been one of the great things in so much as how much food's improved.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Don't go on a tangent, Robert. Keep it to what it is. So we moved to England.
Yeah.
Go to boarding school.
And you're an only child as well.
Spoilt child.
Did you miss your parents or just your mum?
It's a good question, that. Because
it
formed. I mean, we are our own creation, aren't we?
Absolutely.
So they did their best. They did what they thought was right.
Did you enjoy it?
But it made me boarding school. I went to boarding school from a very young age. Which makes me know that I'm heterosexual, by the way, because there was there were no girls there. So there were some very pretty boys. So so I went to boarding school, and I can be teased. I can't really be bullied. I mean, Rusty went to, didn't he? He went to difficult schools.
I don't know.
So whatever, right?
Okay.
I don't know. Terrible. I do go on non sequiturs.
It's all right.
But, so basically, boarding school. Well, I became very fit because you had to do a lot of sport.
And what about,
I didn't mind
what about music? So, like you say,
music. So we've gone from downtown.
Yeah.
So music is really important. Really important. I feel like what we're doing here is I'm finding out who I am. Who am I? Right. Music. White boy school. Genesis, Pink Floyd, all that stuff. I remember buying a Deep Purple album. Now I know you like rock, but I only like the and
Yeah,
not the
that's
rest
a
of
good
it. And I bought a Uriah Heep album because of the cover. And but on a Saturday morning, a guy called Robbie Vincent came on the radio, and he played black music.
Yes.
And I'm getting emotional saying this.
Oh.
I heard James Brown. I heard Curtis Mayfield. I heard, Sly. I was this complex mix between really, really emoting to that music, but on my wall, I didn't want the Four Tops on my wall, right? Because the suit. What I wanted on my wall was Alice Cooper.
But what about female artists?
And
there must have been some sexy artists that kind of like.
Well,
as a
yeah,
young,
I mean, it's
young man.
I know what we, when you're
but
my
she was
age, I'm trying to
beautiful as
keep things sequential.
Okay.
The very early artists after Petula Clark, and I'm still at school. God, it was mainly men, wasn't it? It was mainly men. Joe Cocker. I don't know. It was mainly
But
men.
what about
wasn't it?
female Motown artists like Diana
Oh yeah,
Ross
yeah.
and-
Oh yeah, I love all
Martha
that. I like
and
dance
Reeve.
music,
Yeah.
but I like then when Bowie came along. I mean, he changed everything, didn't he?
Yeah, he changed everybody's life.
He really did.
Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of the look, especially then he, and also the way he kind of went
And
from
Mark Bolan too.
and Mark Bolan before him.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Music was always there, and performance was always there within me. And obviously at school, I did a lot of acting, Pygmalion.
At the boarding school.
Acting. And then when boarding school ended, I didn't know what to do. What am I doing? Who am I? We're finding out today, aren't we? But we moved from Knightsbridge to King's Road. King's Road.
So
King's
give
Road.
us what it was like in the 70s.
Oh my God, King's
This
Road.
is before punk, right?
Just before, yeah. So I'm really trying to keep it sequential, right?
Sure.
So at school, I was with a wonderful friend, Howard Raymond, Paul Raymond's son, and so he starts taking me to Soho, and we start going to clubs. I mean, I think then I went to this great. Because of the way I dressed, and always a bit outlandish, we tended to go to sombrero gay clubs. You wouldn't get beaten up, and the music was really.
And
good.
also, you get to meet girls as well.
Yeah. And Louise's, the lesbian club. I really wanted to go down. I wanted to go to discotheques, So there were these discotheques, Omri de Bahia, La Kilt, all these discotheques. This is before. At the same time, I was this torn between discotheques where you'd meet potential love, and and the rock and roll. So I was sort of. God, it's confusing. So there's always the music. King's Road, though, was Saturday's King's Road. It affected me, King's Road. Do you remember King's Road? Everyone went there on a Saturday. You walked up and down that walk there, and then suddenly Vivian opens the shop, and I was too scared to go in.
Were you?
I think I walked in once, and they just looked at me, and I walked out again. Right? They didn't want me in there.
Okay.
Awkward boarding school boy, trousers too high, funny hair. But King's Road was very exciting, especially the World's End bit.
You're talking 74, 75?
Yeah, I mean, it is hard, isn't it? Don't you find, to kind of be sequential on this?
Absolutely.
Right? So I go to drama school. Why? Parents will pay for it. Bit of a performer. Go to drama school. Webber Douglas, go to drama school. When you leave drama school, you have to get an equity card. In fact, actually, my last performance at drama school was quite fun. I hadn't really prepared anything, so I just took a record player on, some records, a drink. We had a party on stage.
I like that.
That wasn't an award-winning production. The teachers were horrified, and so that ended. So then afterwards, I had to get an equity card, so I formed a dance group. At first it was Disco Theatre, then the Boogie Bus Dancers. We promoted this dance album. And then I came up with the word shock. And I saw Tim Dry with his
Big
partner
shout out
Barty.
to Tim, my lovely neighbour.
Hello Tim, lovely neighbour. And we formed together Shock, and it kind of took off. I'm starting to realise now, in this therapy session, that I can destroy things quite quickly. So I think I speak for a lot of people here. I'm not scared of failure. Because I quite like feeling sorry for myself. You meet the most interesting people. Oh, woe is me. I failed again. I've been dumped. I was scared of success. So when things started to, really from an early age, like at drama school, it's going well, let's destroy it and let's get drunk on stage. Yeah? Let's throw shocks about to happen, it's all about to happen, let's destroy it, form another group. I speak for all the people who somehow are scared of taking that leap, because it's scary success.
Of course it is, and your life completely changes.
Yeah, so you destruct. I don't know whether it's...
Well, I've got an ex-friend who's a fantastic artist, and my lovely friend Mark White, big shout out to Mark White from ex-ABC and vice versa, he said to me that person's the biggest self-saboteur, and people do it probably without even realising it. So whether it's a imposter syndrome and you're scared of success, it could be so many different reasons, but there's a lot of people do self-sabotage.
Yeah, and I speak for a lot of people. You know, you've introduced great success stories. I think I was talking to Mark-Anthony before. Because of boarding school, because of the journey, I was looking for love. I mean, it sounds so corny. For that relationship, the all-consuming love. My relationships became my career, everything. But I got it completely wrong, and they had every right, most of them, to dump me or whatever, right? So I was looking for this. What was I looking for? What are we all looking for? So there have been some difficult periods.
Of course.
And I was an actor, and then I'd sabotage it. I've got an audition for something that didn't need to, really quite good, and then I'd take some weird drug and then I turn up off my head. So it's like they say, comedy is tragedy plus time. So now we can laugh about it. But my parents were in despair. But I mean, I'm getting emotional. I really upset my parents. They did everything for me, and I sabotaged things.
But at least you have the hindsight now to kind of realise that you did that, and you're in a completely different space now. But tell us the transition from shock to actually, because obviously we'll come on to The Promoter, which was a film about yourself in 2013. But
the most famous person you've never heard of in the South.
Which is a great film, and the wonderful Adamant, big up, love to Adamant's in it, and Rusty Egan, big love to Rusty. So many people.
Eve Ferret.
Love Eve Ferret. I need to interview Eve, actually. So tell us the transition from leaving Shock and self-sabotaging, and you formed another band.
I formed a band, because Shock, we had no instruments, it was much more a kind of mime kind of performance. Then we formed a rock group. And yet again, it was going okay, we had potential. And then Larry Ann left me, and this guy that's looking for big love, so we would, pleasure. She was pleasure, I was the beast. And I just threw it away. The band were ready for me. We did a recording session without her, and it was all, yet again, I sabotaged. Yet again. And then somebody said, hey, in fact, Larry Ann's sister used to go to a lesbian club called Heads at Crazy Larry's. So I'd already promoted a little bit before jumping back with Rusty at Camden Palace, taking like Chelsea people to Camden Palace. And
did you enjoy that?
It was a great club, wasn't it?
Absolutely, so iconic. I haven't been actually to Coco, but it's just like the outside building.
Yeah, Steve Strange.
And Steve Strange.
Very important person. Steve, he's lovely. Anyway, let's do Tuesday night at Crazy Larry's. So I do Tuesday night at Crazy Larry's.
So you were
the girls like me, the drug dealers like me, and the manager gave me loads of money at the end of the night. I thought, this is a career. So before I know it, I've become quite a successful, damaged nightclub promoter, and did a lot of clubs, including where Mark-Anthony played with his band, Cobden. The list goes on. Wall Street, or the WAG Club for a long time. Clubs here, clubs there, but really getting myself into quite a pickle.
And that's where I
got pickled.
Not only pickled, but also you were also in the press, so that we can only. You're still friendly with her, with Emma Ridley. So
I was very heartbroken, and I meet Emma, and And hi, Emma. You know, we're still friends, and her mother, bless her. And so let's fly to Las Vegas and get married at the Circus Casino by the Reverend Dwayne Williams, who was a part-time truck driver. So we did that, and then we kind of stumbled. I mean, I think I hit. Then I was a little bit bipolar. I hit a depression. The poor Emma couldn't cope with my depression. In the end, it all ended, and I was promoting clubs, a bit lost. I knew by '92 there was something wrong with me. I knew. It's taken a long, long time. So different careers. Started writing poetry. Done a lot of poetry, shops, shut shops. What am I doing? I'm fine, looking for love. And then I ended up marrying Babette.
Yeah, tell us about the Society
Yeah, so I married
Club.
Babette, you know, I just...
That's when I first met you, around that period.
All very glamorous, very nice. And then this film company said, hey, let's make a film about you. So half the film is like German Street, very glamorous. And then the second half is me back in my lovely social housing. Sort of the yin. So yeah, there's a film about me.
My full name is Robert Stephen Luigi Halbert Pereno.
They facelift like that.
Robert said there's a way of just making people involved. Regardless if it's something that you're interested in or not, you're going to be involved.
I've always had a thing about, you know that, I've always had a thing about dictators. There's a part of me that likes their philosophy.
The thing about Robert Pereno, he makes you feel, he just talks to you like you're a human being.
I'm a dandy highwayman.
Yet, like this interview, it's probably. I think all these things. I think artists do. They're there to entertain, but they're also trying to find out who they are, aren't they?
That's true, but also you've done lots of different things, and I really admire that. It shows how a creative. Like I didn't know much about the poetry, so it shows how very creative you are.
Yeah,
and you're still creative as well. And
yeah.
we'll talk about. We'll carry on your journey.
Yeah, and I did an album with Logan Sky
right.
Called Aftershock, and there's samples of my mother singing. So, you know, it's nice to tick off. I think we all want to do this.
Of course.
Have you done an album? Yeah. Have you made a film? But yeah, everyone says write a book.
Yeah.
And I do read a lot, and I think, oh my gosh, write a book. But the only way to write a book is write a book, right?
Absolutely.
Once upon a time. That's a good first line.
So tell us how, from the promoter and then the Society Club with Babette finished.
Yeah, well, so we found a place in Soho. We had this lovely coffee shop called Society Club. In the end, she couldn't cope with me anymore, and it ended. And I went into self-destruct. I was a bit lost again, you know. Lots of periods of sobriety and where am I, who am I, and dark places. I'm lost in that thought, so ask me a question.
So tell us what you're doing now, because I want to talk about...
Which is such an odd thing.
I want to talk about
Grenfell
Grenfell, because I lost a really close good friend of mine in Grenfell. We're situated by Grenfell. The gardens, tell us what you do with the gardens.
Yeah.
But tell us what Grenfell meant to you, because, you know...
Well, I'm very, very grateful.
Because,
I'm very grateful
years ago,
with all my issues that I was given social housing a long time ago. I'm very, very grateful to the council. I am so grateful. And I've managed to hold on to it. I've had,
But tell us about Grenfell.
I'll tell you what happened with Grenfell.
Yeah, and how you
It brought back all these things that happened to us. I wasn't in the fire. Yes, I'm near the fire. I'm part of the community, but it brought back a fire I was in when I was 8 at boarding school. And
traumatic memories?
Yes, because Parker, in the bed next to me, died in the fire.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And a bit later, I bought a little rockery for him. I built a little garden for him.
How old was he?
They were all about 8, 9, and we were boarding school. Very young. I can't remember.
So a few of them died?
Young. No, one boy.
One.
He went back to get his watch, and the smoke came back to me. You know, with the fires of smoke.
Sure.
So after Babette, I went on this journey of, I think with my issues, and my neurodiversity, haven't we all got that now? I'm so annoyed. I was the only one with ADHD. Now everyone's got it. They can't even leave me something for myself right now. So everyone's got ADHD. I thought I wanted to be the only one.
At least you're aware of your
not the only gay in the village, the only one with ADHD in the village. Now everyone's got it, right? And so I had got an allotment, started gardening. And then I started turning up here. There was an empty space, you saw, the tea garden, and Logan gave me some street furniture that got plants, and I thought, this really suits me. You know, to plant a seed is the most humble thing you can do. And also it takes away from yourself. It's all about me. It's all about you, Robert. It's all about you.
No, but I love that.
And so and then I gradually just turned up. My only gift in the last 7 years is I keep turning up. And if you turn up, things happen. And I haven't run away, and I haven't self-destroyed.
Well done.
But 4 years ago, and I'd stopped drugs a long time ago, and I stopped drinking 4 years ago. I just stopped.
Right.
And then I met Lucinda, and my mother. All my mother ever wanted. I could go to my mother, Mum, I got bad news. I'm a serial killer. Oh, that is bad news. But I've got a grandchild now. Oh, that's fine. You carry on with your serial killing. Just give me the... She just so wanted to... That was a terrible analogy.
Is that Italian?
Yeah, well, in other words, I could have given her bad news, but if once I told her she had a grandchild, it was Italian only, you know. And now she's got Zola Rika, which is her name, Rika. And just for today, I think it's all right.
Great. I love that. And what's it like being a parent at this stage of your life? It must give you so much joy.
I'm just spoiled. I mean, she's got me like. I used to tell me I don't want children. I don't want children.
You never thought of it at all.
But I think I've met the right person.
Absolutely.
Not that the other people were not right.
No.
I'm not here to put down anyone else. But you weren't at that
stage in your life where...
I met somebody that's a really good gardener, who's the nicest person. And by the way, I say she's taller than me, so my posture's improved a bit, because it's terrible posture. Because we are shorter people, mine was bending. If you have posture problems, go out with someone taller than you. That's my recommendation of the day.
Yeah.
And pink lemonade. So I got a bit.
So you got the little allotment, started doing the gardening. That's where you met.
Which led, and then James Caspell is running the project here at Grenfell, Lancaster West. He kind of believed in me. A few people believed in me. And then I've ended up, weirdly enough, for 7 years, is it, with a steady job. I've never had a steady job. A good, honest relationship, a steady job. Yeah, this sounds so like. Should I go back to rock and roll? Yeah, pop, idols.
No, come on. We have to all come get to a stage in our life where we're happy and.
There's no importance to being earnest, Oscar. Yeah, so right now, just for today, sitting next to you, dear friend, someone who's finding out who he is, who made a couple of records, because in the end, I think once you find your sense of home. You almost don't need to make a record anymore. Write a poem. I've tended to make my best work when I'm so full on, you know. I'm finding it hard to write now because I'm quite a bit happy. Because no one likes happy poetry, do they? They want it to be miserable.
But listen, it's great to be
I wandered lonely as a cloud through a nightclub with Mark-Anthony on stage, you know.
So tell us how you met Mark-Anthony as well.
Well, Mark-Anthony's always one of the interesting person. A searcher. He's not here to... He can't say anything, and he's on. Yeah, Mark-Anthony. I think. Look, I am really the opposite of a Luddite. Yeah, you can't undo knowledge. We got
That's
Facebook.
True,
yeah, I still read books. In fact, when I read a book now and I come across a quote, it mentions someone, I can look it up. I think it's a tool. It's how you use your tools.
Very true.
Yeah. So, but the period we were in, contradicting, was a period without social media. So
Good point.
I knew I'd see him on a Thursday at a club, Woody's or a club.
Woody's,
But,
yes.
but you see listen, Thursday, Royal Exchange, you know that you'll see someone you know or have someone you see for you. So I think social media is a force for good.
I agree.
And also, but it's a tool, and we're still learning how to operate it. So what I'm saying, so I met him at a period where we all knew that on a certain night we'd all be in a certain place, and there were some great bands, and he had a great band, and there were lots of interesting artists, and there still are interesting artists, and you interview a lot of them. And did I answer the question?
You did, but
I never know if I've answered the question.
I want to also talk about Hastings, because you mentioned Hastings a lot.
Well, my partner's there a lot.
And that's a very creative area.
Well, I think talk about the mobile. What's happened is, and you went to Margate, is that because people work once or twice a week and people work online, and London is so expensive, it's a bit like where you're going, Manhattan. People are finding if you only work in London twice a week, if you work once a week at Tate Modern or wherever, and you've got a family, the seaside's a nice place to be, especially when it's hot like this. You know?
Absolutely. Make sure you put some
I know,
moisturiser.
I've burnt myself. Because
but it must be beautiful having that. You got.
Well, that's Lucinda. Yeah, but she's here a lot in London as well. She comes
also
to London.
coming back to the Grenfell thing. And what you're doing with, you meet so many volunteers as well, of different ages as well.
Yeah, volunteers.
And that must be very inspirational to see that kind of different generation.
I'm doing the same thing, putting on Mark-Anthony's band, and now I meet someone, a few people I've met have come to volunteer and have gone on to have careers as gardeners.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
But I think,
That's great.
what was that cliche? Il faut cultiver, you must cultivate your garden. We must all cultivate our gardens, metaphorically and, but also there's a big problem in the world. Look how hot it is. Climate change is a real thing, We need bees, we need worms.
Yeah.
We need nature. We have got, with all these wars, awful people dying, and
Absolutely.
we know that. But I also look at the amount of destruction of nature. How about all the animals that are dying? How about all the trees that are being pulled down? It's not just humans who created it anyway, but we are destroying nature. But I think artists have a way of just making you connect, and our gardeners make you connect. Because I think all of us right now are just trying to connect, aren't we?
Absolutely. I just wanted to say from knowing you from when I first met you, 2011, 12, to now, just the remarkable transition from from where you've been to where you are now in such a happy place, and like you said, I'm in a happy place too. And
Yeah,
it's
you
great.
seem it.
I'm very in a happy place, and I'm going to basically, if I could move to Brooklyn, New York, Manhattan,
I can see you there. I can see you there.
I love it there. I've got a lot of friends there. But anyway, Robert Pereno, my dear
or
friend.
Robert Pereno.
Robert Pereno.
Depending if you're Italian or English.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Now, I am no public orator, but as you know me all, a fair blunt man that love my friends. For that they know full well that they gave me public leave to speak of him. For I have neither words, nor wit, nor wisdom, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I, Julius Caesar, only speak right on.
And you need to do more acting as well.
I need to do more. or stop acting.
This has been TerryTopCat for Clusterview.com for TerryTopCat Presents with the incredible Robert Pereno. Thank you for your hospitality, and it's been great. And Mark-Anthony for filming and editing for Clusterview.com.
Pop, pop, pop.